Achvaghosha, Buddha's birthday, was celebrated with greater rejoicing than usual in the year following King Kanishka's invasion, which took place in the 5th century after the Nirvana. The formidable invaders had become friends, and the people were joyful that the war clouds had dispersed so rapidly. Now, in India, when they worship their avatars, the sent ones, the prophets, whatever you want to call them, same thing, really. They ended up celebrating their birthdays and their death days. And the Tathagatas, same sort of, whatever the original title of, when they were treated as deities, then, that sort of stuff came in. Kanishka was in good spirits. He was elated by his success, but it had not made him overbearing, and he was affable to all who approached him. In a short time, he'd become the most powerful monarch of India, his sway extending far beyond the boundaries of his own kingdom. His generals had been victorious over the Parthians in the far west, and his alliance with the king of Magadha made him practically ruler over the valley of the Ganges. But more effective than his strategy and the might of his armies was the kindness which he showed to his vanquished enemies. Princes of smaller dominions willingly acknowledged his superiority and submitted to him their difficulties because they cherished an unreserved confidence in his fairness and love of justice. This was laid the foundation of a great empire upon whose civilization the religion of the Enlightened One exercised a decided influence. Peace was established, commerce and trade flourished, and Greek sculptors flocked to Gandhara, transplanting the art of their home to the soil of India. It was the beginning of India's golden age, which lasted as long as the Dharma, the doctrine of the Tathagata, was kept pure and undefiled. A holy enthusiasm seized the hearts of the people, and there were many who felt an anxiety to spread the blessings of religion over the whole world. Missionaries went out who reached Tibet and China and even far off Japan, where they sowed the seeds of truth and spread the blessings of loving kindness and charity. Kanishka and the king of Magadha enjoyed each other's company. The two allied monarchs started on a peaceful pilgrimage to the various sacred spots of the country. They visited Lumbini, the birthplace of the Bodhisattva, thence passing over the site of Kapilavastu, the residence of Shuddhodana, Buddha's father in the flesh, and the haunt of Prince Siddhartha in his youth. They went to the Bodhi tree at Bodh and returned to the capital, Benares, to celebrate the birth festival of the Buddha in the Deer Park, on the very spot where the revered teacher had set the wheel of truth in motion to roll onward for the best mankind. The wheel of truth, which no angel, no demon, nor any other power, be it human, divine, or infernal, well, I guess divine is their word for celestial or good or something, but should ever be able to turn back. A procession went out to the holy place and circumambulated the stupa, erected on the sacred spot in commemoration of the memorable event, and the two monarchs, who had but a short time before met as foes on the battlefield, walked together like brothers, preceded by white-robed virgins bearing flowers, and followed by priests chanting gathas, hymns of the blessings of the good law, and swinging censers. No display of arms was made, but multitudes of peaceful citizens hailed the two rulers and blessed the magnanimity of the hero of Gandhara. When the procession halted, Kanishka and his brother king stood in front of a statue of the Buddha, and watched the process of depositing flowers. Who is the beautiful maiden that is leading the flower carriers? Asked Kanishka, the king of Magadha, in a whisper, and the latter replied, "It is Badratri, my only daughter." Kanishka followed with his eye the graceful movements of the princess and breathed a prayer. Adoration to the Buddha, he said to himself in the silent recesses of his heart. The Buddha has guided my steps and induced me to make peace before the demons of war could do more mischief. I now vow to myself that if the princess will accept me, I shall lead her as queen to my capital, and she shall be the mother of kings of Gandhara to come. May the Tathagata's blessing be on us and my people. The Bible also doesn't have Jesus say that he was to be prayed to instead of God, At the stupa of the first sermon of the Buddha, peace was definitely concluded. The king of Magadha delivered to his powerful ally the sacred bull, a treasure which, though small in size, was esteemed worth more than half the kingdom of Magadha, and Achvaghosha, the old philosopher, was bidden to appear at court and be ready to accompany the ruler of Gandhara to his home in the northwest of India. Achvaghosha arrived at the deer park in a royal carriage drawn by white horses, and there he was presented to King Kanishka. He bowed reverently and said, "Praised be the Lord Buddha for his blessed teachings." Well, praise where the teachings and the Buddha came from, right? Gladness fills my heart when I think how your majesty treats your vanquished foe. The victorious enemy has become a friend and brother, making an end of all hostility forever. Good, my friend, replied Kanishka. If there is any merit in my action, I owe thanks for my karma to the Tathagata. He is my teacher, and I bless the happy day on which I became his disciple. My knowledge, however, is imperfect, and even my learned friend, Charaka, is full of doubts on subjects of grave importance. Therefore, I invite you to accompany me to Gandhara, where my people and myself are sorely in need of your wisdom and experience. Your invitation is flattering, said the philosopher, and it is tendered in kindly words, but I pray you, noble sir, leave me at home. I am an aged man and could scarcely stand the exertion of the journey, but I know a worthy scholar, Jannayacha, who is well versed in the doctrine of our Lord and much younger than I. He may go in my place, and should I grow stronger, I shall be glad to visit you in Gandhara. Charaka, said the king, have a room fitted up for Achvaghosha and our residence at Benares, and so long as we remain here, he shall pass the time in our company. Let him be present at our meals, and when we rest in the evening from the labors of the day, let us listen to the words of the philosopher who is regarded the best interpreter of the significance of Buddhist teachings. Now, as much as sometimes that sort of thing is true, one of the things that we should probably look at is that, there are going to be some things that are best interpreted for ourselves because the particulars of our material and psychological culture, as long as we're being honest with ourselves, it not being about our wants, then yeah, regard the previous interpretations, but let's not get caught up in them.